Hey, and what is it? Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday out there, folks. it's, it's Thursday. Good Thursday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majeski here, back with you on the Weather Nerds YouTube channel with the Weather Report. Hope you're having a great day out there. You're ready to get this day over with and get on to the upcoming weekend. I know that's definitely going to be a bit of a change for a lot of the country. I tell you, just unbelievable, kind of a very strong cold front for this time of year. That's definitely making its presence felt across the nation for right now. Hold on a second. I got to take that off. My dad was calling me. Anyway, I'll call him back in a little bit. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about what you can expect here for today. Now, before we get going into this report, what I need y'all to please do is to please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future updates. And again, if you ever have a weather-related question, please post it down below. Give me a thumbs up if you do appreciate this report. Now, yesterday's highs and lows across the country. Death Valley was at 114, and Leadville, Colorado was a cold spot. Not Utah this time, at 31 degrees. All right, now what we're seeing right now is we're tracking a cold front on the move, folks. We've got a cold front that is definitely making its presence felt here across the country. It's dropping down and giving us a nice little respite, I would say. Definitely a bit of a change here in the overall dynamics with the weather across the country. So we've got our frontal systems kind of coming right through about here. So we've got the cold air kind of coming in here. I would maybe call it cold air. Let's call it cooler air. Canadian cooler air kind of coming in here across the nation. It's going to clear out through the northeast first, and then it's going to come in down toward the south, so into the south. So here's where it's currently sitting right now. There's your current map right there, and definitely a bit wet on the wet side up here across New England and across the Midwest here. You got these temperatures nice cool down here. You're seeing a lot of 50s and 60s in here. Definitely chipped away a big chunk of the watches and warnings, those extreme heat advisories we've been having across the big part of the nation. You're going to see a big change there. Now, we did have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings earlier. That was up into the northeast. We had one little severe weather that popped up there earlier, but it's since gone away. So we're talking about these storms down in here. These were pretty hefty down in here. They've pretty much weakened here just a little bit, but couldn't rule out a few more isolated severe thunderstorms, especially for the northeast, as that frontal system kind of moves its way off toward the east. Now, this is where the big story comes in. Check this out, guys. This is significant. I mean, wow. You remember just last few days, I mean, how much we had all the heat warnings all up in here. Now they're all gone. We're kind of trimmed this away now here to the deep south. Still dealing with the excessive heat warnings there in the purple across Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee. But definitely making a big chunk in a little bit of a break for that heat wave. We are dealing with some heavy rains up here across the northeast. We've been talking about that over the last couple of days. That's going to continue here for today until that front clears on out of there. So watch out for some localized flooding up that way. And then we're going to turn our attention to the southeast. I think southeast parts of the area need to watch out for potential flash flooding in this part of the country going into early next week. We'll talk about that more here in just a second. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at our breakdown here as far as what our severe weather credentials are for today. So let's look at your day one outlook here. As we've got a couple of severe weather pockets here. We got obviously coming in here across the mid-Atlantic. We got some slight risk right there. And we have another one out here into the Intermountain region out here toward Wyoming and Colorado. And we got a little pocket here across Arkansas as well. Just got a couple of little areas there to watch here for today. Again, not worried about the tornado threat being a big deal for today. Notice we don't have that there, so don't have to worry about tornadoes. It's less than 2%, not to worry about that. Wind, obviously, in those two hot zones there across the mid-Atlantic and across the west. So, again, we're talking about areas of Philadelphia, Washington, heading up toward Baltimore. So that zone there, gusty winds, 60-mile-per-hour winds, possibility there. And out here in the west, so we're talking about areas out toward Casper, even getting in toward Denver a little bit in here with some gusty winds out there as well here for today. Now, as far as the hail threat is concerned, that would be predominantly out in the west. You see in the yellow areas out there across Wyoming and down toward Denver. And just a little bit of pocket here across the mid-Atlantic, just a little bit. That's running about 5% in those zones. All right, how about the next several days ahead? All right, let's take a look at this. We pull back out here a little bit there. There we go. Let's look at your day two here. We got the southeast as that front moves into that very moist air. So you folks down here in the south, we're talking about Metro Atlanta, Augusta, Georgia, Greenville, heading over toward Columbia, Charlotte. Again, might see a few isolated severe thunderstorms going into your Friday. This is for tomorrow. And then we got another little pocket out here across the foothills as well, Rapid City, down toward Torrington, and they're out there on the foothills of just outside of Denver looking at possibility there as well. What about going into Saturday? Let's check out day 3. Well, looking a little bit better. Notice that we got that cold front coming in here. You notice we got any thunderstorms in there. Just a little pocket of marginal there across Nebraska, Kansas, and Colorado there going into your Saturday. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the excessive rainfall. Obviously, we got those flash flood concerns out there. Look at your day 1. And we do have that to moderate risk here now, lighting up 40% chance for flooding. So that's a bit of a problem here. We're talking about it toward New Jersey, Philadelphia, coming down toward Washington, D.C. Baltimore's in this as well. So we're looking at a pretty pronounced area. That's where the flash flood watches are. We can see some localized flooding, rainfall amounts, and getting excess of 4 to 5 inches potentially with some of these thunderstorms there. So be careful up there. Now, we do have the yellow that does encompass that. It goes up in toward Boston as well. So you don't want to forget those folks coming down here toward Richmond, Virginia, Virginia Beach. Again, some pretty good, decent rains in here for today. That's your day 1 outlook. Day 2, we'll shift this down toward the southeast. Again, that's where the heavier thunderstorms are going to be. So Charlotte coming in toward Columbia, Wilmington, again, looking at some potential heavy rains in this area as well as we go into Friday. And just kind of a general, heavy rain threat here across the far west. Really not a big deal, but again, we're watching that pocket there. And going into day 3, looks like, again, this will stay predominantly into the southeast. So we're talking about Savannah, Charleston, getting down toward Albany, Georgia, just north of Jacksonville. So this will be the area for heavier rains as we go into your Saturday. So got a couple of flooding areas to concern. Obviously, the recap again today, flooding a big headache problem for the big cities there in the Northeast. So you guys be careful out there. The old mantra is, don't drown, turn around. If you see a water covered with water and it's moving, be careful. It only takes about a foot of water to move a car. So just don't do it. Be safe out there, all right? All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the tropics. Let's get you an update there. We're getting ready to flip the calendar to August. Things are going to start heating up out there eventually. So right now, nothing expected over the next 7 days. That's staying quiet. The reason why we're still lingering on to a lot of Saharan dust. We had a couple of decent tropical waves out there yesterday. They got the snot kicked out of them. I mean, that dry air with all that dust is really causing problems. You can still see it here showing up on the satellite imagery very nicely. And I didn't mean to make that as a bird. Sorry about that. But again, you can see that dry air as well as that dust causing problems out there. Now we're still going to, as this frontal system comes on in here, it's going to stall out here. So we got to really watch this area off the coast here going in over the next 7-8 days, because that's what the models are kind of showing here. Let me get that up for you here, as I want to illustrate this. Again, this is the European model, and this has gone up every day over the last couple days. So it's very possible we could be looking at a potential tropical depression here forming over the next 7 days, all right? That means, again, this is not saying it's imminent. It means that the conditions are favorable for tropical depression development. When the National Hurricane Center puts out nothing for 7 days, it's because they're locking on to something that's showing signs of development, okay? There's nothing out there just yet, so we're just kind of watching. So this area could be something we watch to become our D-named storm there out in the Atlantic. So we still got to watch that closely. Nothing there yet, but we'll watch it. Okay. Now, as far as the Pacific side's concerned, they're staying pretty busy. We got Gill out there. We got Iona out there. We got a couple other areas of tropical potential development out there. One showing 50% south of Hawaii. The other one's about 70% there. These are going to stay well offshore. I'm not worried about these. They're near the Mexican coast where any of that moisture coming to the States, or a possibility of being a problem for Hawaii. I'd be worried about it. But right now, the Pacific staying active, Atlantic not so much, and nothing to be concerned about out in the Atlantic or the Pacific right now. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about our models. Let's get you through the model data here. We're going to first focus in here on the short term, okay? We're looking on the short term here first. We're looking at the NAM, the 6Z NAM, the latest one here off the presses here. And you can see things are definitely starting to improve here across the Northeast. We'll get the rain out of here eventually here going into forward tonight. And going into Friday, we'll see things much improved down there. Definitely seeing a pronounced flow here. We're definitely seeing the cooler air kind of coming on there. We're going to see the rain kind of increase here across the south going in toward Friday. As you notice here toward Friday, the rains really start to pick up there across the Carolinas and into South Carolina. So we're looking at some pretty good rains there. A little bit of rain out here on the foothill, out here to the plains as well. But that is our next weather system coming on through. And I'm seeing these lines, these heights falling through here. That means that temperatures are dropping, and going to be a lot of the country, like I said, going into this weekend, are going to see a real nice little summer break. That's the best way I can call it. It's a nice summer break here. as we go into this upcoming weekend. Let's go ahead and talk about those temperatures again. Look at this thing. I got this looping on through. You're really indication of the real push down here as this thing's looping through over the next 60 hours. You're really seeing it. You see green on the map this time of year. You know you're getting it back there. So again, you're seeing what it is for today. Like, let's go ahead and pause this back. Let's move this back to this afternoon, for example. It's 5 o'clock. Okay, you got temperatures up here in New York State in the 50s. I mean, wow. I mean, you got a lot of 70s out here. You're looking at where the heat is. So you still got the heat holding on here across the south, out here in the west, a little bit out here. It's a little hot up here in Washington State. Seeing a couple hundreds out there for this afternoon on your Thursday. Now, as we go ahead and take this forward here and take this into Friday afternoon for comparison speak, so we'll take it out to about 3 or 4 o'clock. Look how much of the purple's gone. I mean, just really, we got temperatures here in the 70s, 73 in Ohio this for your Friday afternoon, 75. Still holding on to the heat across Georgia and South Carolina. You guys will get your break here coming soon. Northeast, 69 degrees, 70 up in Maine. This is very, very nice. Very unusual to see this. And then as we go take this all the way out here to the end of this loop here, let's take this all the way out till 2 o'clock. Let that load up in here again. And I looped out on it. There we go. So we're going to see this thing where it's going to basically continue to stay below normal briefly. Not going to last that long, folks, because we're going to see things begin to change as things begin to heat up as we go beyond, say, the middle of next week. I'm going to show you the climate outlook there in a second. But, that's one thing I wanted to show you. Check out these lows, man. These things are nice, man. Let's see, Friday morning. Look at 7 o'clock. Look, check this out. 49, 50. This is tomorrow morning. 49, 53, 49. I mean, this is definitely a fall feel to it here across the Great Lakes in the Northeast. I mean, this is just going to be very, very nice. All right, let's go ahead and look at the precipitation. These are our totals here. Again, the Northeast, we know about the heavy rains up this way. So anywhere in that corridor in here, again, we're showing upwards of 4 inches in some little localized spots. Here's a 7-inch right there. Here's another one down here showing a cluster near 5 inches. So again, watch it. That's where that moderate risk for flooding is going to that zone there. So got to watch for some heavy rains up in there for today. And then this will begin to shift to the south. This is going to go in for mainly for tomorrow. We're again seeing some 4 or 5 inch rainfall totals down here in the Carolinas as well going in for tomorrow. So again, watch out for isolated flooding there as well. Got some hefty thunderstorms back over here toward Texas. 2.5 inches of rain there across northeast Texas. Some pretty good thunderstorms there. Oklahoma showing to 2. So again, this time of year, you get thunderstorms. You can get a quick 2-3 inches very easily. Doesn't only take all that much, especially with the high water content. And pardon the throat. Not sure why it's giving me fits now, but it just decided to. So we'll get through this. All right, let's go ahead and look at your forecast here. This here's the European model. We're looping this once again. The one thing I will say, I'm not seeing a big dome ridge reestablishing itself. I see little weaknesses all up in these high pressure stuff. We're still looking at the northeast, obviously getting the cool down for the weekend. It pulls out. Residual weakness across the south. We're seeing the ridge. Then you see these little systems that down, buck in, get stuck in the ridge here across the west coast here. You see this again across the northwest. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a real big heat dome. It's going to be, look, where temperature's still trending above normal for a lot of the country, but I'm not sure if we're going to get a severe heat dome again, just because of the little weaknesses and little impulses. I think maybe the middle of the country will need to be watched predominantly for potential heat going in toward the end of next week. But for right now, I don't think we're going to get a big, not like we had before. Just put it that way. It's still going to get hot, but I don't think it's get that hot. All right, we'll go with that. All right. So again, we'll look at your forecast here. Here as we go into this upcoming week here, going into next week. So let's look at the weekend. So the southeast, I wish I had better news for you guys. It is going to be a bit on the damp side. This is their Saturday afternoon. We already looked in through Friday. That's looking kind of wet down here. The northeast is not going to look bad. They got high pressure building up there. This is looking pretty good. Wet in the southeast. A little bit of storms out here, out into Idaho and into Montana. And as we go and take this forward here into your Sunday afternoon, and again, the southeast continues to stay unsettled here. A few storms out here in the middle of the country. Northeast looks good. Looking out toward the areas of the Great Lakes, that also is looking pretty good. And then Monday afternoon, still looking wet across the southeast. Northeast looks pretty good. A few showers there up toward Maine, maybe. And then going into Tuesday afternoon, guess what? Southeast still concerned. I'm really concerned about Georgia and getting into Tennessee, maybe getting some flooding problems in those areas. So we'll have to watch that going into early next week. And then this eventually looks like it clears on out. Looks like that disturbance kind of rides up into the mid-Atlantic going into Wednesday and Thursday, and then it kind of moves on out. So it looks like that begins to weaken there. And then going in next week, we got another little system here in the middle of the country. So we're kind of working on the next 7-8 days, kind of watching that here across the nation. But the southeast looking wet. Northeast, y'all got some great weather coming in for a few days, as well as the Midwest before the big heat up, big warm up comes in heading in next week. All right. Let's look at your rainfall totals here next 7 days. Again, the Northeast is going to obviously see a lot of the rain, but the Southeast is our big bullseye here. Again, you're seeing a lot of 5-inch plus into these zones here across Georgia. A lot of purple in here. That's 4 inches plus here across Alabama, Georgia, parts of the Carolinas, going up into the areas of Virginia as well. So looks like the Southeast might be a target zone for more potential flooding going into early next week. So you guys need to keep guard out there. Rest of the nation not looking bad. Got some thunderstorms out here in the foothills. Obviously, West Coast continues to stay dry, California and the Northeast. So no big issues there. Let's go look at our temperatures. This is your Saturday afternoon look here. And look at all these 70s. I mean, wow. I mean, look at all the nation here. Looking at 70-degree temperatures. Your 90s are stuck down here, Florida, the Southwest, your extreme heat's down there. Just really kind of beating that back here. And as we go into your Sunday afternoon, again, a lot of the nation, no heat. Outside of Texas, South Florida, the Southwest. Again, nice little break from the summertime heat woes here. But that won't stick around here too long. But Monday, we start seeing that things begin to warm back up here. Tuesday, seeing a little more purple, a little more red showing up on this map. Going out to Wednesday, yeah, see the middle of the country really starts to heat up a little bit. Because of that residual rain here on the East Coast, that's going to keep the temperatures down a little bit. It's going to take a little while for that to rebound temperature-wise there in the Southeast. And then going into next Thursday, yeah, I'm seeing 100-degree temperatures popping back up here into Texas here again. So and the heat starts to encroach here across the Southeast. Still holding on to that below normal here across the eastern seaboard because of the clouds and rain in there. But we'll see the return of the high 90s starting to repeat. And I think the folks up here in the high plains going toward the end of next week and beyond, I think the 90-degree temperatures will return up there as well. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at your climate outlook here for the next 2 weeks. We'll kind of show you what's kind of going on here. Again, we're going to see things begin to change with the outlook here. Now, this goes out from the 5th through the 9th. So again, we're kind of holding on to still look at some near normal temperatures here in that little area. That's where the cool down's coming. Got a little cool down up here into the Pacific Northwest, but the heat starts to build out in the west, which is what we were seeing there on those temperatures there. But check this out as we go out to the 8th to the 14th. A lot of the nation, yeah, we're looking at above normal temperatures, especially across the Northeast there. Seeing a very high chance of above normal temperatures up there. The Southwest, things are definitely going to start heating up once again. Again, I don't think we're going to see a return to the oppressive heat we just got done going through. I know it's bad English, but that's what I think we're going to see. Now, going 6th to the 10th, we're going to see dry conditions out in the west. So we're definitely dry out here, a little wet here across the southeast and up toward the northwest, and a little dry pocket up there going from days 6 to 10. Again, that's the 5th to the 9th. And then as we go deeper into the month here, looks like most of the nation either seeing above normal precipitation or near normal, and still holding on to some dry weather here out in the west. Starts to expand out here into Texas and into Kansas, a little below normal out there as well. So anyway, that's what we're looking at. Something to look forward to for this upcoming weekend. Definitely can't complain about that. We've got that nice little respite coming our way here from the summertime heat. That's good. We'll take it. And then we're also going to see a rebound, as you can see in the long-term outlook. Again, very unusual to see a cold front come down this strong. It's going to give a lot of the nation with below normal temperatures here for a brief bit, but things will warm back up. We still got to get through August, obviously, and then we got to get through the hurricane season, which is also getting primed and targeted as well. Again, I appreciate you everybody checking us out here for the update for today. Sorry the vocal cords started to go live on air, but I didn't have my drink with me, so nothing I can do about that. Way it goes. I got my new banner up there so I can kind of differentiate between when I'm doing severe weather coverage and when I'm just doing a weather update, the weather report, as this is called. And that way you can kind of tell the difference between the two there. Again, appreciate everybody checking out the channel. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. You got a weather-related question, please post it down below. Give me a thumbs up. It does help with that little algorithm thing. And I'm looking forward to doing these every day. I really like it. All right. You guys take it easy, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next report tomorrow. You guys, till then, have a great and safe afternoon. We'll talk to you later.